Hey everybody, Tim Schmidt here with Dry Dock Consulting, and we are in the middle of our 90-day challenge, and this is number 8. This brings us to the conclusion of April with the principles all revolving around investing in yourself, the mentor principle. What I would love to communicate with you today is this idea of finding a mentor that you meet with, someone that can be completely honest with you no matter what's going on in your life, both professionally and personally. So here I am in the basement of my cabin. I believe that was built in the 50s, maybe even earlier than that. But here you got your cooler and your umbrella and your lake toys, and here's even a little game we play in the yard. But there's been something down here that's been here for a long, long time, and that is this stack of bricks. And before I go into our topic for today, the principle of finding a mentor, I'd like to talk about all of April and investing in yourself, because we now have 8 different lessons that we're building on. So as we bring these bricks out of the dark basement and into the light, it serves as a great lesson for us to say, what are the things that we're learning about ourselves? And our first principle was know thyself. We had you go on to My Enneagram Coach, and that was the very first lesson, was if you really do know yourself by taking the Enneagram tool, you can be so much more effective and you can identify your blind spots. The second brick is all about your core values. So as we begin to build this idea of bringing our self-awareness out of this dark basement and into the light, what do we learn about ourselves when you took the time to determine your top 5 core values? Now, if you've been with me the whole month of April, this was our third building block, and that was the Venn principle. And the Venn had 3 circles that intersected. One was identifying what does the world need. Number 2, what are you good at? And number 3, what brings you tremendous joy? And by bringing that out of the darkness in our psyche to understand what our compelling life purpose is, that becomes the third building block of knowing thyself. This fourth core principle of knowing thyself and investing in thyself was the idea of journaling. To take the time every single day to think about what in the world am I thinking about, dreaming about, envisioning? And that was the fourth principle in our lesson around investing in yourself for April. Okay, our fifth principle, as we bring this idea out of the dark and into the light, was all about the 7 F's. Scoring your life, assessing. Remember, Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. And he talked about, in our book, What Really Works, the 7 F's around faith, family, finances, fitness, friends, fun, future. And what are you going to do about moving the needle in each of those 7 F's? Oh man, this next one is powerful. And it is the idea of daily affirmations. I mean, and the timing of this is just so perfect, because if you think about how we're moving through each of these building blocks to think about know thyself, core values, the Venn principle, journaling, your 7 F's, and now daily affirmations to literally change the hardwiring, the neural pathways of your brain to move from what you're telling yourself to what you could be telling yourself in terms of positive daily affirmations. All right, number 7, we just covered number 7. And that was all about 101 lifetime goals as we build this really know thyself. 101 lifetime goals. What a tremendous idea to envision what your life could become and then begin to make it happen by writing it down and identifying the who. Critically important, who can help you reach those, who can join you to reach those lifetime goals. And here is number 8. We're wrapping up the month of April. Number 8 principle is all about the mentor principle. Who in your life can be a part? Who can you open up to authentically? Who will tell you the truth about what you really need to hear? Who will identify the remnants or the tools that are in you that you should be using? And who would tell you exactly where you're going off the rails? The mentor principle is number 8. Okay, our last principle in the Invest in Yourself month of April is the mentor principle. With all of those building blocks set to really begin to know thyself, finding a mentor is critically important. Someone that you can sit down with once a month and have a very open dialogue. And here in a minute, I'm going to show you a great little agenda for when you meet with that mentor. The two things that mentors do: one is to share your strengths and your skills and give you confidence. But the other one is to be completely honest with you, to show you your mistakes and to be open and honest. I have a kind of an embarrassing story to tell you. I'd gotten some stains on some dark clothing here at the lake, and I told my wife that I would do laundry. Well, maybe you know where this is going, because this whole time I've been making this video, I've been in my pajamas. The reason I'm in my pajamas is because these were the clothing that were on the top of the laundry load when I added Iron Out. When Iron Out says rust stain remover. That makes sense, right? Bathroom, water softener, white laundry, and more. Okay, so I might have missed that third piece. And so I had some really fun pieces of clothing that ended up getting completely ruined. And one of them is my own PJs. These mistakes, this self-awareness is what a mentor can do for you. They can identify, look at this. It almost looks like tie-dye. A mentor can be honest with you and say, I see some things in you that you may not see in yourself, some mistakes that you're making for you to be your best self, and I want to bring that out in you. The other thing about having a mentor is you will bring out the best in them. No matter who you ask to be a part of this, you will have an opportunity to make them be their best self as well. So find a mentor and begin meeting with them. Now, here's what I would suggest you do when it comes to what should you do when you meet. This is your call to action. When we meet together, we have to give a score on a scale of 1 to 10 and where our personal life is. Our marriage, our children, our fitness, all the personal things, but just one score on a scale of 1 to 10. And then we have to say the 3 things that I'm gonna do in the next 30 days to move that score up, just 1 or 2 notches. We're not talking about going from a 3 to a 10. We're talking about going from a 3 to a 4 or a 3 to a 5, okay? What is a personal score on a scale of 1 to 10, and what are the 3 things I'm gonna do? The second thing we do is give a score on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of where your professional life is, right? Scale of 1 to 10, and the 3 things I'm gonna do to move the needle on my professional life in that area. And for 10 years, we've written these down in one pad. We have 10 years of data now that shows where our personal life is and the 3 things we say we want to do, and where our professional life is and the 3 things that we want to say we want to do. It's fascinating, and I'm really tempted to even write a book about this, right? To say, when my personal life is crushing it around the 7 F's and living a flourishing life, how does that affect my work? Or conversely, when my work life is going great, does it affect my personal life? It's a fantastic model, and it's very, very simple for how in the world I can continue to lean on someone else and they can lean on me to live our very best life. You gotta do this. Are you with me? It's within you. Let's do it.